Hi folks, welcome to Look with Luke. We are into the Christmas season. This is Friday the 8th of December. We are in Luke chapter 2 and as usual we're taking our time, the Christmas story that's often read, and we're just reflecting upon what it means. And I've got a lovely piece of music for you at the end. It'll be fairly obvious what it is when you hear the verse. So if you've got a Bible, have a look at this. If not, you'll see the words on the screen. Luke chapter 2 verse 8. And there were shepherds living out in the fields nearby, keeping watch over their flocks at night. Now it's interesting, Jeremiah argues that, a commentator argues that the owners of the cave were the shepherds in which, Jesus was born in a cave and that these were the shepherds who owned it. We don't know that. But the shepherds certainly knew where to find the manger. Now, what's the importance of these shepherds? Well, as has often been pointed out, they were a despised class. We have shepherd as a kind of romantic notion. My granddad looked after sheep. My mum and dad, looked after sheep as well. I've known several shepherds, and I would never have thought of shepherds as being despised. But in that culture and in that context, they were. It was difficult for them to observe all, for example, the rituals of the Mosaic law, and especially the additional man-made rules. These shepherds were, shepherds were kind of despised and were excluded from those who are allowed to give testimony in the court. So that shows you how despised they were. They just weren't considered worthy. But these shepherds are different. They're devout men. I would suggest that they are acquainted with the messianic prophecy. They're waiting like Simeon, like Zechariah, for the consolation of Israel. You can see how the angels will come on to that, but the angel addresses them with some awareness, that they have some awareness of what Scripture had prophesied. Now, they were outside. It was, the animals were put in grass in the evening. They could either go to shelters or pens, and the shepherds would take it in turns watching over them, protecting them from wolves and lions, making sure they don't stray. Sheep are not the smartest of animals. Some of the shepherds they'd do it in shifts basically. Some would be in a hut made of branches, and the others would just be keeping an eye out. So they're watching over. And as they are watching over, then the angel appears. Now we'll look at the angel tomorrow, but I just love, there's so much about this image of shepherds, this reality of shepherds. For myself, I just think one time being Port Mahomet near the lighthouse. This is in the north of Scotland in Easter Ross. It's just a glorious location, possibly my favourite place in the whole world. And I remember being there helping with a lambing one time, and it was so funny because we would just sit there. There was a Land Rover and binoculars, and we would watch the sheep at a distance, and they would be lambing. And as soon as one of them started lambing, we would head away to help or see if there was any difficulty. And I love the fact that these shepherds, the most despised, are looking out for the sheep, and the angel comes to tell them this great, great news. And think about it this way. This is in Bethlehem. David was a shepherd. Jesus is the good shepherd. Pastors are called shepherds. So I will leave you with that. I'm going to leave you with, I'm going to leave you with, while shepherds watched their flocks by night, all seated on the ground. The paraphrase of Luke chapter 2, sung by the Cambridge Choir. Absolutely beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. And I love the fact, I come back to it again and again and again, this is good news for the poor. So God bless you, and see you tomorrow on Saturday. Bye.